So Adam, tell us a little bit. So we're celebrating Cinco de Mayo, but most people think Cinco de Mayo is just like a celebration of tequila. This is actually a celebration of overcoming adversity. I don't know if you know the history of Cinco de Mayo, but Mexico beat out France, beat the shit out of them. And
it's a constant theme in their history, unfortunately.
Now Jay knows everything about the story, like the history of Mexico after being this podcast.
In our business, it's not so easy being where you're sitting at right now. And what I want to know about is, give me some juice. Give me something that, where was a moment in your life where you really said, hey, listen, to overcome this, I had to find something inside of me to make this happen.
I think we all, you get into this business, right? Dreams, aspirations. You see them online. You see them on TV.
Very fluffy.
Thank God, though, for a lot of those shows, because it introduced a lot of people into the industry.
True.
You have to wear a lot of hats. Good negotiator, great communicator. You got to be personable. You got to have patience. You have to have almost like an ignorance that you're going to win. Right. Everyone's goals and dreams and aspirations are different. What's the model of success is, up to the individual person, which is great. Everyone's got 1,000 different business models, so you got to figure out what's good for you. So
how do you stay genuine? Because were you always this cool, or or did you become cool because
you
of
spend a lot of time alone? You stay away from certain people. No, there's a lot of great people in this industry. I'm like sitting here with you guys is great. We have obviously working history, personal history, and you're seeing friends in the business. So it's great to see people that have chipped away over the decades, or even a few years. They made a good impression. I think the grassroots of it all is pretty simple. They're good handshake people. They keep a great reputation in the community. They're hard workers. They care about their clients, which is most important. And at the end of the day, everyone has their client, and I'm not for everyone. Whoever it may be is not for everyone. They gravitate naturally. So I think what to answer your question was, you start to figure out who your ideal client is. What areas do you enjoy, the lifestyle, the real estate values in particular? Where can you communicate well? I think that's what it comes down to. I don't do geographical farming. There's a lot of people that are very successful at narrowing themselves down in certain areas, and they're the go-to professional in those respective areas. I get bored.
So you're talking about becoming unique, right? Unique in terms of your own personality.
Yeah.
The way that you approach the market, and also to find your ideal client. What is your ideal client? And sometimes it's very difficult. Someone that's joined the business, right, to figure out this. How can we figure out what is your ideal client?
There's I'm going to give some tidbit that I tell a lot of people. There's a wonderful article. It's called 101 Ways of Attracting Affluence into Your Life. 101 ways, or maybe 100 or 101 ways. And I came across this PDF early in my career. And it was just kind of like establishing yourself in your passions, And at the end of the day, people do business with who they know, like, and trust. And if they know, like, and trust you, and God forbid you're actually very good at your job, then you have an opportunity to earn business eventually.
Yeah.
And the process is tough, Buying a house, most people stay in a home. I think the average now is almost 6 to 7 years. It used to be longer.
Right.
So the frequency of transactions is sooner. But 6-7 years, I can't wait to pay my bills in between that.
Sure.
So you have to build frequency, and
how it come down to you? How do you find your ideal client and your market, and what is your market now?
And I'm going to couple that too, because I think that what you're saying, what I'm going to just kind of phrase it for you, is the niche.
The niche, the niche. I got it. I think my niche in general is, I haven't done a deal for a stranger in almost 8 years. I've been in the business 9 years.
It's impressive.
So I take a lot of pride in that. Now that's capped my income per se, because I'm not dealing with 60, 70, 80 transactions a year. I'm probably doing 35, 45 transactions a year, but I know them. So what happens there is, I have less money out of pocket, for my marketing expenses. I got a few things I do, but I'm not going to outspend someone in the neighborhood, because I'm not going to geographically outfarm someone. It's just I operate in all 3 counties.
That's interesting. I like, it's a different model in our business, because there's a lot of ways to make money in our business.
Yeah, and it seems similar to mine.
I think this is something I really respect Adam about, which is how he really taps into his personal sphere of people.
Yeah, and I'm lucky that my friends are competent at what they do in their own professional dealings. You know, and I try and stick to my own moral compass of like, if I know you and I like you and I respect you, I want to either learn more about you, befriend you, figure out social engagements, business arrangements, and I figured out a lot of referral partners is really the key.
Yeah.
And you got to get your group together and you got to support each other.
And so this way that I would, if I would like to define, I would say circles of influence, right? So you create different circles of influence, and then you start expanding them through the other circles that you're gonna expand, right?
I didn't mean to cut you off. Absolutely. No, I'm blessed that I have a lot of cheerleaders in my business that have taken me by the hand and said, I want to make an intro to you. And that means a lot to me. So there's an intrinsic side to the business, and then there's the brass tacks, and you got to make money, you got to fulfill their goals financially, timelines, and we're managing a lot. But yes, you got to have people that got your back, plain and simple.
So Adam, one of the questions that we want to end with is, in this business, what's something that you kind of fall back on as an inspiration to you? It could be a shout out to somebody that is behind you, that supports you. It could be a leader, it could be a mentor. What is it that you like?
To who you would like to send a message right now and like frame it this beautiful video and send to them?
I'm gonna look. My parents have always supported me, which is great, right? Everyone's got to have their support team.
Yes.
But I'm really going to say, you know, the clients that have always said, I knew eventually you would be doing X. I knew you'd be working here. I always wanted to work with you because of the following. Those are the people. Those are your cheerleaders. Those are the core of your business. So I spend a lot of time with the people that I've done business with, people from my past. And, you know, early in your career, when you get like the friend that doesn't buy with you or the relative.
I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate that.
Yeah, you never see them again. No, I'm just kidding. No, but like you learn to take it on the chin. And you evolve from that. That's what happens. And
if you have to select a name to mention now and send a message, who it would be?
So my ex-boss is here, actually.
Okay.
So I'm going to say what's up to Corey Edwards and Heather Edwards of Keller Williams.
I like that.
So they're a great example of a family business, and every time we see each other, it's always, hey, boss.
Kind of set the path for young Adam.
It was just a great example. Hard worker, you know, diligent. You know, I worked in the construction industry in town for Hooper Construction as well. I'd say hi to Alan Hooper.
Did not know that.
He took me on, and you know, Florida State was great for me. I have a degree in real estate as well. Urban Land Institute.
Do you actually get degrees from Florida State?
You do, besides the other stuff that we won't mention on the podcast. But, you know, I made sure not to have class on Friday for happy hour and pop bellies. But, you know, yeah, that whole crew of people. You know, the philanthropic world that I'm involved with, and my referral partners, and you know, my business partners that I really feel. And I've been to the funerals, I've been to the weddings, I've been to births, I've been to these are people close to me. So that's what's important.
Adam, if people out there need to find you, where do they find you at?
They can see me on the streets. I don't know.
He's the man of the town. He's the man on the town.
You can find me. I got the easiest phone number in Olive.
Shout it out.
954-612-3456.
Oh my God.
My late grandfather David.
How much did you pay for this number, man?
He didn't give his Instagram. He gave his phone number to the digits.
He paid $50,000
My late grandfather, rest in peace. His
Get
old
back here and
number.
get a selfie with us real quick.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
Thank you, buddy.
So a shout out to the Captain Painters. Now, the Captain Painters I have had the pleasure of working with for the last 3 years. And you know, not only what I love about them, not only obviously they do painting, but they also do a lot of interior renovation work as well too. And the unique proposition that the Captain Painters really, I think, that they instill in the client side of the business is that they treat your home, it's a kind of a tagline that they've developed, like a temple. And to me, I think that adds a lot of culture to their personality, because when you get a normal trades person that kind of comes in there, they're there to do the job and not really, in a sense, service the client. You know, and you know, when you talk about interiors, you're talking about customization, you're talking about design. And I really feel very comfortable when I recommend them to a job, because they really come in there and they look at the big picture, not just the job itself.